Bonjour classe, c'est moi, Madame Norbert. J'espère que vous allez bien et que vos jours sont pleins de soleil. Aujourd'hui, on va apprendre un nouveau temps verbal qui s'appelle le conditionnel. Et d'abord, je vais expliquer quand on l'utilise et après, je vais expliquer comment on forme le conditionnel. Alors, new tense we're going to learn today is called the conditional. It builds upon some building blocks that you guys already have the foundation for. And I feel very confident that you guys are going to be very successful with this new tense. So the first thing I'm asking you to do is on your sheet, in your notes, could you please conjugate the verb parler in the future tense? If you haven't finished, you can go ahead and pause and finish up and then click on play again. But if you have finished, if you want to just check it out, if you recall, this is the tense where you use the infinitive as your stem, which the infinitive is before you conjugate the verb, and then you add your new endings on. So you've got je parlerai, tu parleras, il parlera, nous parlerons, vous parlerez, ils parleront. So hopefully you were successful with this tense. Again, as I said, this is just the infinitive, the non-conjugated form of the verb, and then you add your new endings on. So the conditionnel is a new tense that we're talking about today. When do you use the conditional? Well, we're going to talk about three different situations. The first one is actions that would take place with a certain condition. So, action qui se passerait avec une certaine condition. So, if you remember, se passer is to happen. So, se passerait, actions that would take place. So, par exemple, s'il faisait beau, j'irais à la plage. S'il faisait beau, j'irais à la plage. So if it was nice out, I would go to the beach. And that ir, that's the verb aller in the conditional tense. So the conditional is to talk about conditions that would happen with a certain condition. Okay, so the word would in French doesn't exist. So what we do is instead of using the word would, we now are going to use the conditional tense. Par exemple, elle comprendrait. Elle comprendrait. She would understand. So simply by adding that new ending onto the infinitive form of the verb, that's how I'm expressing the word would. Elle comprendrait. And the last one, pour être plus poli. Poli, if you recall, means polite. So you're going to use the conditional tense to be more polite. And we do the same thing in English, you just don't realize it. Je voudrais une omelette, s'il vous plaît. I would like an omelet, please. So when you go to a restaurant, when you're requesting something from somebody else, when you're being polite, the conditional tense is what you would use. Je voudrais une omelette. So now that you've seen it in use, I'm going to just show you how you form it. So the first thing you're going to do is trouver l'infinitif, find the infinitive. And as I had stated, and if you've forgotten, the infinitive is the verb before you ever conjugated it. So some examples are manger, finir, and attendre. So that form right there is your stem, and then you're going to add your new endings onto there. Now, of course, there's an exception. When you have a verb that ends in RE, you're going to drop the E. And this is the same thing we did when we did the future tense. So this is something that hopefully you're comfortable with or you've seen before. You're just going to drop that E off so that you don't end up having quite so many vowels together. So attendre, you drop that E. Now you're going to add your new endings. I'm going to take a minute and show them to you. I want you to write them down. So it's kind of dorky and a little bit cheesy, but this is why the whole Mary Had a Little Lamb has been showing up in all of these pictures. I made up a song to help you guys remember the ending. It goes like this. Mary had an A-I-S, A-I-S, A-I-T, I-O-N-S-I-E-Z, A-I-E-N-T. Woo! So it's, again, might be a little bit silly, a little bit lame even, but if it helps one person remember, I am pleased. So I'm going to sing it one last time. You can sing along with me if you want to, or you can just skip. So it goes, Mary had an A-I-S, A-I-S, A-I-T, I-O-N-S-I-E-Z, A-I-E-N-T. Woo! So I hope it was helpful for you. Don't worry, we'll practice in class together. So for the verb manger, this is what it would look like. So go ahead, take a moment and write it down. So for the pronunciation, so you know somebody's using the conditional tense, it would sound like je mangerai, tu mangerais, il mangerait, nous mangerions, vous mangeriez, il mangerait. So it's a little bit similar to the future tense, but it's also different in all of the forms other than je. Je in the future and the conditional sound exactly the same. So the only way you would know would be by context what somebody was trying to say. But all of the other ones are a little bit different. Okay, so go ahead and practice. These are the verbs that I'm asking you guys to conjugate. I want you to pause it. And then when you're done, check your answers. Hopefully you guys did well on these. I'm going to go through the pronunciation so you can get used to it again. Je finirai, nous attendrions, vous prendriez, il regarderait, elle boirait, tu lirais, elle prierait, and il ouvrirait. So I hope you guys understand. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. We will have a skill check on the conditional, and it will also be a tense that you will use in some of your speaking and writing assessments coming up. Passez une bonne journée et à plus tard. Ciao.